Okay, here we go to start the lap. Approaching turn 1, back into second gear. Car starts to slide a little bit as we don't have the tyres up to temperature yet. Upshift to third gear, keep it flat through this section. Stab on the brakes, turn the car into the right-hander. This is Hatzenbach, a whole series of left and right corners. A real rhythm section where you've got to get the car to flow right to go quickly. Stab on the brakes and jump the curb, a little bit of a slide, run the car all the way to the exit. Hard brake, back into third gear and jump the curb again. A little bit of a power slide on the way in, wide open throttle for Quiddleback-Aho. Upshift to fourth gear, keep it flat, approach the compression, a small tap on the brakes and make the jump. Turn the car in and keep it flat through this section. Wide open in fourth gear. Tricky to get the apexes right in this part of the track. Keeping it flat as we approach, upshift into fifth gear, as we approach the Riser Schwedenkreuz, spin the wheels as we go over the top of it. Stab on the brakes and turn the car in. A little bit of a slide, hard on the brake pedal, back into third gear for the run down into Arenberg. Now wide open on the exit and run the car aggressively downhill, down Fuchsrow. Upshift to fourth gear, keeping it flat. You've got to be really accurate with the steering. Upshift to fifth gear, again keeping it wide open. Hard on the brakes, back into fourth gear. Again another stab back into third gear and make the right-hander. Run this corner deep. Back into second. Quick upshift into third gear as we make the approach to Metzgersfeld. Difficult to get your brake marker right into this corner. Back into third gear. Hard on the brakes. The run through Calenard is also difficult. Aggressively on the brakes to slow the car down, a little bit of a slide on the way in, and again back open on the throttle. A small snub apply and then make the left hand turn, go back to wide open throttle, and again aggressive on the brakes. Difficult corner with a double apex. Upshift to fourth gear for the run down the hill, back into third, and then back again into second. One of the slowest corners of the track. Upshift second to third, and then again to fourth just before the kink. There's a bump that upsets the car. We quickly get on the brakes and back into third gear. Quick tap into second gear just for a very short period and then wide open into third. We're coming up to the famous berg work, keeping it flat through second, through fourth, third, and now fourth. Flat through the kink and hard on the brakes, back into third gear. You've got to get the apex right at this corner because you've got a long climb where you've got to get the exit speed right. Now it's wide open throttle for several kilometres as we cross the 11 kilometre mark. Upshift to fourth gear, still keeping it flat. There's a little rise on the track here. Just got to open up the steering a little bit. Flat through this section. Stab on the brakes, back into third gear for a quick turn, wide open. We sit the car very close to the rev limiter, upshift to fourth and hold it flat through this section. Come over the rise, quickly tap on the brakes and turn the car into the right-hander. And we're now approaching Steel Striker. The corner before the carousel, back into second gear, a little bit of a slide on the way out, upshift to third, keep it flat all the way up to the carousel. The carousel is the most famous corner on the Nürburgring. Hard on the brakes, back into second and then drive the car aggressively through the carousel. Wide open throttle. just stabbing at the throttle, wide open on the exit, upshift to third gear. Upshift to fourth and keep it flat through this section. Small lift to get the car into the left-hander. We're coming up to Hoak, back into third gear, turn the car in and go back to wide open throttle for a brief moment. This is the highest part of the track now. Getting the car to flow right through this section is critical to keep your speed up. Jump the curb on the inside, let the car drift all the way to the outside, brake in the compression and then make the turn up the hill. We're approaching Brunchen now, which is one of the most famous corners on the track because of all the spectators that stand at this point. A little bit of a slide on the way in, run the curb on the way out, and now approaching the ice curve, one of the most difficult corners on the track. Car starts to slide, and get back on the throttle, run the car over the curb on the outside, and set yourself up for Flatsgarden. Flatsgarden is one of the sections where the car jumps. Upshift to fourth gear, quick stab, jump, down again, back into third gear, and run the car wide open throttle. We had a car lose oil here about 10 minutes before this run, and the sand is all over the road. So a little bit of a slide, keep it flat through this section. It's like being on a roller coaster as the car sweeps. Quick stab on the brakes, back into third gear, wide open throttle again, and run the car all the way to the outside. We're approaching the second carousel. Turn the car in. You can see the sand on the road from the oil spill. You jump out of the carousel, and another power slide on the way out. Approaching a critical corner where we've got to now get the lead up onto the main straight right. We're in third gear, start to approach wide open throttle now as we hit the apex and start to drift the car right to the outside. Upshift to fourth gear. Wide open throttle, we have a quick look at the gauges, upshift to fifth gear. Approaching the very fast kink at the end of the straight. Turn the car in. A quick brake in the compression, off again, a little bit of a slide on the way up. Having to hold it all together now for the last few corners. Back into second gear. And there's the last turn. There goes the record lap. We were really pleased with the way this turned out. We didn't think we were going to run as fast as we did. An 8:19 is an awesome time and we're very, very pleased.